Hey guys, welcome back to the Are We There Yet channel. Today you're riding around once again in the 2022 Ford F-150 FX 4x4 off-road. Nothing but the best for my viewers. So we today are going to take a special request from one of our viewers who saw the last tutorial we did on the ins and out of the drive-through. You get it? And this one is going out to Shelly. Shelly, we're going to make sure that everything is clear to you on this subject today. And we are driving right now to the Are We There Yet culinary institution, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. So I hope you all enjoy this. Get a pencil and paper, and you're going to want to know the recipe to this, and you're going to want to be able to follow these steps, because this one, if you screw it up, it's just not going to work. All right, guys. So we'll see you there. Okay, so here behind me, you can see that we are now in the Culinary Institute for the Are We There Yet channel. This is also my work lunchroom, so I'm not responsible for all the cleanliness of this place, because, you know, if people refuse to clean, then fuck it, I ain't cleaning either. So, but that aside, right? We're going to compartmentalize that, and that aside, we are going to go and we're going to give you a tutorial today, and the tutorial is going to change your life. I think it really will. So some people already understand this, but for those who don't, prepare to have your mind blown, because this is it. This is it. All right, so what are we talking about? Okay, we are talking about making ice. Ice, ice, baby. Oh, I hope that's not a copyright infringement. But we're gonna make ice today, and we're gonna share with you a time-honored recipe, and we're gonna talk about the differences and the subtleties, and I hope you all break out a pen and paper and take some notes, because well, no, I guess you could just rewatch this, and that would be more watches for me. So if you enjoyed this stuff, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, right? And if at the end you have any comments you want to make, like maybe your own free recipe, like your grandma's recipe from back in the day, I would definitely definitely like to hear. All right. Okay, so here we are, the unboxing. I know you kids like unboxing, so I started to open it up, but I figured everybody wanted to see it. Okay, what we have here today is a couple samples of the gear that we'll need to make ice. Okay, so what we have here, the first thing is we have Good Cook ice cube trays. Now, this Good Cook does not sponsor me. If Good Cook wants to sponsor me, we can have a talk. Just email me and we'll talk. But this is one example of an ice tray that we're going to use. We just took it out of the box, so before we actually use it, we're going to clean it, because, you know, I really don't know where it's been. But Good Cook, I'm not saying you have a bad reputation. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, obviously, we wash all stuff before we use it. Now, secondarily, we have a three-pack, different colors. Now, there's silicone on the bottom. This will help, as you'll see once you make your ice, this will help to dislodge it from the tray. Okay, so we have a 3-pack, and this is made in China. This is Gunyan, which I do not have a sponsorship with, but if Gunyan in China wants to have a discussion with me about sponsorships after this video, we can talk about it. So these are the two trays we're going to use, okay? Pretty straightforward. not too complex. I hope you're all following me. So next we're going to the ingredients. So bear with me while I set these aside and we'll get the ingredients going. All right, so now as promised, next we're going to get into the ingredients for this, for making ice, and let's get right to it. So behind me I have lined up, you'll see several things. The first ingredient that we're going to talk about is water. Now specifically, there's several flavors of water that I want to discuss. I mean, there are probably millions of flavors, but these were, I was able to locate in my local store. The first is distilled water. Distilled, that's what's the key. Distilling is a process whereby you purify water. Now, I might be a hydro engineer, but I'm not going to bore you with all the details that go into distilling. But safe to say that distilled water really has no soul, but you could use it to make ice. So if you want to use distilled water to make ice, well, I mean, that's really your prerogative. But let's move on. So distilled water is an ingredient that you can use in ice. The next is crystal geyser. Crystal geyser. Now this is alpine spring water. Alpine spring water. Now this is actually my favorite. Okay, so all kinds of flavors and bouquets come out of alpine spring water. Regular spring water is pretty much just a hole in the ground, but alpine spring water, now the aquifers that go into shaping this water are pretty special. So if I was going to make ice, I would choose some alpine spring water. Now regular spring water is pretty good, certainly better than the soulless distilled water, but Crystal Geyser, okay, that's a local favorite, and we see here it's bottled at the source. Now I don't have any sponsorships from Crystal Geyser. If Crystal Geyser wants to sponsor me, that would be great. Okay, you can contact me after, and we'll talk about sponsorship. And the last flavor that I want to get into here is, okay, this is straight out of the tap. Now, a lot of people might, right, straight out of this tap specifically. Now, a lot of people might look down upon tap water because, hey, you know, you don't know where it's been, where did it come from. We know that this came from, right, CG Rock Sand. It says so right on the bottle. However, tap water has a lot of interesting flavors. They put fluoride in it. Sometimes it's a little chalky. Right? We're not going to go into well water today. Some municipalities even have lead in their water. Okay? So depending on your municipality, I can't even say municipality, you might actually have some interesting flavors in your water that you might want to investigate. So while I like the natural alpine spring water, I would actually try the tap water before I would take the soulless distilled water. Okay, so next, now that we've met our ingredients for making ice, now we are going to go into the process. And when we go into the process, we're just going to go ahead and use the Crystal Geyser, and we're going to use the tap water, and we're just going to leave the soulless distilled water. You know, I'll probably just return it, or maybe I'll just dump it out. I don't think everyone cares. All right, folks, we are back, and here's the two candidates. All right, we're going to use those two. One of the little features of this Gunyan that does not sponsor me, this came out of the Are We There Yet channel funding, which is, you know, my bank account. But it's really cool. You actually have a lid, so you can keep all the particles that you don't want in your ice. You know, you could keep that out of your ice. That's pretty cool. And then we have the standard ice tray here. Everything's been washed, so like we talked about, we want to make sure that everything is nice and clean. All right. So I'm going to set this camera up so you can see the pour. All right. Okay, so here we go. We're removing the cap. This is fresh. All right, we want to fill all the little squares. See all the little squares? We want to fill all the little squares with water. That's the key here. we want to fill the squares with water. If we don't fill the squares with water properly, then we're going to have improper ice. Okay, try not to make a mess. Oh, like I'm doing, I'm gonna move it to the edge here. That's gonna make it more simple. Here we go. It's very full. All right, we're filling little squares. I'm gonna clean up, I promise. Okay, so we're filling the little squares. See, this isn't as easy as it looks, I'm telling you. You might get water everywhere, all right? You gotta remember to clean up your mess when you're done. Whoa. Now we got the 2 left at the end. It's pretty tricky. All right. And this is the spring water. Now you can see how they're all full. Yes, I got it and made a mess. I will clean it up. I'm gonna go ahead and put this extra feature here since we have it on the ice. Okay, I'm gonna clamp it down. Oh, wow, I didn't expect that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a napkin and we're gonna start to clean this up. All right, that's a lot of water. Well, folks, see, this is pretty tricky even for an experienced hydro engineer like me. All right, here we go. All right, so the good news is that it's just water. The bad news is that I just wasted some water and we're in a drought, okay? So I'm gonna move that aside for now and we're gonna move on to the tap water. All right, folks, here's the tap water. Some of you may recognize this as my my Keurig container. So I did put fresh tap water in there if you're wondering. This hasn't been sitting around. This is fresh out of the tap. And we're gonna try and do the same thing. Hopefully it can be more precise. See how we're filling, these aren't squares, these are oblong shapes. And see, we're getting a little messy here too right now. But I think we're doing a little better. Okay. All right. So now we got the trays full. Some of them a little over full. We got the trays full. Now we're gonna go to the next step. Okay. The next step is the crucial step. If you don't get the next step right, then we're all effed, all right? So pay attention, all right? I wanna make sure that you understand this, and if we get it right, we're gonna have great ice. If we don't get it right, then it's just not gonna fly. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna take the 2 trays. All right, well, I'm gonna take them one at a time, just to be concise. All right, the goal here is for the ice to get to freezing. So 32 degrees or under is freezing. That's 0 Celsius for my Canadian watching friends, and if you're in Europe watching too, it's 0 degrees Celsius. So let me be clear, like I said before, okay? If you don't get down to 32 degrees or below, this will not work. 33 will just get you some cold water. The whole recipe comes down to this. 32 degrees. Okay, folks, here we go. Let's check out the next piece of equipment you will need is a freezer. Okay, this is the freezer. It's the top portion. The bottom portion, okay, is the refrigerator. The top portion, and may be different on some, is the freezer. And we see in this freezer, oh, look, what do we have? Oh, bagged ice, corporate ice. Corporate ice is bad. Bad corporate ice. No, what we're doing today is craft ice. Okay, we're gonna take the first one, and we're going to pick it up, right? We're gonna pick it up, and we're going to gently place it on the rack, okay? We're going to place it on the rack. We're going to pick the second one up. Okay, number 2. Give me 2. Number 2. And we're going to gently pick it up. We're trying not to spill water. Yes, I still have some water to clean up. And we're going to put the second one on the rack. All right, here we go. All right, so now, folks, we need this to get down to 32 degrees. Remember, that's 0 Celsius if you're from Canada or Europe or anywhere else in the world other than United States. Now we gotta close the door. The hand is on the handle, and we swing the door closed. And then we step away from the fridge. Okay, so now final step, okay, in the process. Well, it's not the final, because we're going to talk about what comes after it freezes if you've done it right. If you haven't done it right, then you're just going to have some cold water to drink. But if you have done it right, when we come back, I'm going to show you how to take it outside of the out of the trays. Okay? So if we've done it right, the next step is ice out of the trays, and that'll be that. So now we wait. This is what we're doing. We're waiting. Good morning. Welcome back to the Are We There Yet channel. Here we are today. We are now at the back of the 2020 Ford F-150 FX off-road. Today this will be our laboratory. This will be our workstation here, where we check out what happened with our ice yesterday. So I figured we'd do this al fresco, so we can kind of get an idea of what it would be like to experience ice in its sort of natural environment. Like maybe if you're camping, you might sit up on the old tailgate of the F-150, or you might be, working really hard, and you want a cool beverage. So that's kind of why we're here. All right, so let's get to it. Okay, so here you see we have everything set up. We have a glass, we have a receptacle, and we have the ice. So we're going to start with the tap water ice, and we're going to show you how to get it out of the tray. All right, here we go. Okay, so the trick here is, first you have to twist. All right, see how my thumbs are on both ends like that? We're going to twist the Good Cook ice cube tray, and we're going to go twist it opposite direction so these little ice pop out of the thing. Let's see if it works. Oh, it looks like they're ready to dump already. All right, here we go. Now we're going to dump it into the receptacle, and here we go. All right, we got a couple left. We got to make sure we get those out. Boom. All right. So next, we're going to remove the convenient lid, and boom. So if we look at the difference, you see these are oblong and these are squared. So now this is something I've never seen before. It's got silicone backing. So we're going to do the same thing. All right, we're going to twist, see if we can break them free. Twist opposite, boom, boom. All right, they seem to be broken free. Hey, there's two of them that are a little mushy here. These did not. Ooh, we have a fail here. I wonder what happened. Look at that. All right, let's see how the other ones did. Now I'm pushing on the silicone. Perhaps I didn't let the recipe go too long. We talked about a failure. That's a failure. I wonder how that failed. Okay, so if you look at that's still a little oblong, but it's more square. So let me tell you the secret. There's a plane going over, so I'm going to wait. Okay, the secret is mixing the two. It's kind of like a salad. So now we have the tap water mixed with the alpine spring water. All right, so let's get a good mixture. We got a double here. Let's get a good mixture. I like a 50-50 mixture. 50-50. All right, there we go. Oop. All right, so now we're going to try it out. We have our Diet Dr. Pepper. Now, this channel is not sponsored by Diet Dr. Pepper, but if Diet Dr. Pepper wants to reach out and talk to me about, possibly a sponsorship, please email me. Now, we tip the glass. You see how it cascades over all that beautiful ice? Now, here we go. Slow pour, slow pour, slow pour. Okay, folks, we are now going to try the fruits of our labor. You can smell the essence of the ice, the bouquet. Just try it. Ooh, that is refreshing. So there you have it. How to enrich your life by making your own craft ice. Hey folks, I almost forgot to add, if you have any ideas of topics you would like us to explore, we would like there to be there to help you, okay? We are creating informational tutorials for you guys, and if there's something specific that you want to see or you have questions about, please drop it in the comment section below. Like and subscribe the video, and we will do our best to get to all the video requests that we have. Our investigative teams are out, and we are looking for ways to help the community. So feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. We appreciate you guys, and hopefully we can help you live a more fulfilling life.